Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. What if you woke up one day and suddenly couldn't remember anything about your life? The Polish Netflix series Open Your Eyes looks at a facility that helps people with amnesia. But is there more to the series to make it memorable? See what I did there? When Yulia finds herself at an amnesia treatment center in the aftermath of a terrible accident, she begins to form bonds with other patients who have experienced oddly similar traumas. She meets Adam, who becomes her guide around the center, and when she starts to have strange dreams and visions that feel all too real, she begins to question if this place is really what it promises to be. This has a dramatic and slightly sci-fi thriller aspect to it. Right from the start, as I'm seeing all of these young people at the facility for people that have amnesia, the first thought is that it's quite odd that there would be such a high concentration with amnesia. I mean, is this a prevalent condition? I like the main character, Yulia, because she really embraces her amnesia trait. The way she interacts and reacts to situations makes me believe her memory loss. I like that she struggles to remember, but what comes back to her is scattered and confusing. There's an atmosphere of mystery and even mistrust that surrounds both the facility Yulia's at and the show itself. I think it's a great concept to have a premise built around an entire cast of unreliable narrators. They all have memory deficiencies, so if they see something, dream something, or even remember something, can those thoughts be trusted? It puts an air of doubt around so many of the motives and circumstances, which I think then adds to the intrigue. There's a great deal of character gaslighting going on, which then even affects us as the audience. We don't know if we can trust what we've been seeing because we're watching it play out from the patient's perspectives. This plays throughout the entire show, and I really appreciate the consistency in that. We dive so deeply into Yulia's character that we can't tell what we're supposed to believe. Another characteristic of having a cast of players that are amnesiacs is there's not a lot of background development that is given. We learn about the characters mostly from their present state, and then we get small glimpses into their past at the same time they do. And this can make some of the characters less connected to us, but I also think in those instances, those particular characters aren't as important to the overall story. The mysterious aspect of the plot is teased out at a very patient pace. We can feel intrigue building, but it does grow slowly. There are small mentions of motivations and scheming in the episodes to let us in on the fact that there is more going on than what we see, but the entire time I'm hoping it's going to actually lead us somewhere, and when we do get there, that the payoff is going to be worth all the investment. Now, some of the acting is very stiff, especially from the doctor that's treating Yulia. She's meant to be questionable, but she comes across more artificial. Other characters seem like they're important at the beginning of the show too, but towards the end, they're pretty much forgotten and unimportant to the narrative. There are some special effects that are utilized in this, and they're okay at times. I mean, they're passable for a TV show, but mostly they're also kind of questionable. The season is 6 episodes. They're each about 45 minutes long. At about the halfway mark of the show, I was a little disheartened because it felt like everything was not going to lead anywhere. But as the final 2 episodes play out, I really was caught up in the intrigue. Those last 2 episodes really mess with the brain, especially the final episode. I enjoyed the mind trip that was going on, and I can't really trust my eyes and what's being shown to me, and that then sucked me in even more. And I can see how it can be frustrating also because with how everything plays out, it can feel like we've been lied to the entire time. And maybe we have. Or maybe we haven't. And that's what kept me going. The gaslighting of the characters works to keep us fully suspended in the mystery. And even if we figure out portions of what's going on, the motives are still kept solidly in the dark. The scenes change seamlessly between what Yulia sees and she experiences. Is this scene a dream, or is she really living it out? And because dreams can feel just like reality, when Yulia can't tell, neither can we. I'm impressed at the patience and resolve that the showrunners had in telling this story. They stick to the mystery angle and give us just enough insight to make us think we know what's happening, only to introduce another story complication that makes us question everything all over again. I found the show very easy to binge. Sometimes the drama got a little repetitive and I wanted the story to progress faster than it was unveiling everything, but I didn't feel as though the show was dragging for me. Part of that repetitiveness is also just the characteristic of Yulia's character arc. Now, she will discover something and move forward with it, but when all that comes into question, it makes her retrace all her steps. One thing that could cause the largest frustration is how the season ends. It's kind of a cliffhanger, and depending on how invested you are in the story, is certainly going to influence how you feel about having to wait to continue with the narrative until another season. Overall, I had fun with this. The mystery and especially the gaslighting aspect I felt were accomplished well, crafting scenarios that sucked me into the characters but also made me question everything I was experiencing. Not being able to trust what I'm seeing but still having a story that is progressing in its mystery I think is a good accomplishment. I didn't get lost in the back and forth, but I found myself scratching my head more than once. The portrayal of Yulia is done really well, and in a way that made me feel a bunch of sympathy for her, all the while not really knowing anything about her. I was able to connect to a character that's pretty much a stranger, and I appreciate the actor and story's ability to suck me in like that. There's nudity but no sex, some profanity, and a little bit of violence. I give season 1 of Open Your Eyes 4 out of 5 couches. What's a good mystery that uses gaslighting as a story device? I saw one at Sundance called Knocking that I really enjoyed, and I know that there are some really great older films too, but let me know what you like in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris, this is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me. And in case you didn't know, this next line from my intro from the Queen song is Open Your Eyes, which I thought was kind of cool.